Welcome, gardening family. Thank you for joining me here at Sensational Container Gardening. This is Sin, that's short for Cynthia, and I'm going to be sharing my fall seed starting with you guys. It's latter part of August, and here in Zone 9B, Northern California, we're still around 90 plus and projected triple digit days next week. Now, one of the great things that's been happening is that the temperatures have been cooler than the projected temperatures. But the bottom line is I'm not starting any seeds in the garden so that they can burn up. Um, Fall, I don't want to say, well, maybe it is my favorite time of gardening because I enjoy greens and bok choy and lettuce and things like broccoli and stuff so much. This is my second year. And while I'm running my mouth, I'm going to show you guys some of the seeds, just a few that I have that I want to start. And if you guys want to comment down below and let me know if you've grown any of these and what you think I should grow. The sad part is I've kind of been procrastinating because, I didn't know what I wanted to start. But I did know that I wanted to wait sort of until the end of September before I did anything. This is my little $1 pencil box thing that I got from the 99-cent store. I have it labeled because when I'm sitting around inside and I'm not in my garden, I'm fantasizing about being in the garden. So I take my other seed containers and I filter the ones that I'm gonna be planting in here. That's probably like really too much, but I do stuff like that. It's the way I keep it organized. So last year, I grew, I attempted to grow some broccoli and all I got were leaves, but it was awesome because I mixed them in with my collards that I was growing. Last year I had purple tree collards, I had merit collard, which is a tree collard variety. I had turnips in one of the kiddie pools, and I had Georgia collards and Vates collards in one of the kiddie pools, and I mixed them all together. I tried to plant some of this in the spring this year, and no, it wasn't happening. I'm not a fan of starting lettuce and stuff that I eat like in really huge quantities inside. So I think the Mizuna mustards, I grew them last fall and I love them. They're wonderful. This was a freebie that I got from Baker Creek. I think I might plant that. The large leaf sorrel, which is kind of like an herb, but it's large. Right, okay, we can read large leaf sorrel. Well, anyway, it has a lemony flavor. I grew this last fall. We threw it in with some salads. It was good. Marvel of Four Seasons. I tried to plant that. No, it didn't happen in the spring. Something was, well, actually, the problem was I think my soil was compacted. The slow bolt was awesome in the spring/summer. It is really heat tolerant, hence the name slow bolt. I might grow some more of that. So these are the lettuce ones. I'm going to kind of put those aside. I'm definitely going to be trying some Swiss chard. I've never grown this before. Cabbage, as much bok choy as I can possibly grow, and I'm going to be definitely doing a lot of succession planting on this. I love bok choy. I have some OPP bok choy, other people's produce, in my refrigerator right now because I couldn't wait. Cabbage. I think I tried this and it didn't happen. The purple lady bok choy I started in the spring, and the cabbage moths were very happy because they ate it down to the soil. The little bit that I did get, that was heartbreaking. I'm going to grow some of that. I don't know why I chose to slice the top off of this one. Bok choy, baby bok choy. I'm going to be growing some more of that. And this, so there's a story behind this. Munchie Chi. Mitch Mitchy Healy. Okay, so this was a freebie. I'm going to take a sip, shameless plug, out of my You're Never Too Old to Play in the Dirt mug, available in my Teespring store, sensationalcgardening.com. You guys can go over there. There's a lot of different garden themed stuff. Some of it doesn't have my branding on it, so if you're not, wanting to have my little logo on it, that's cool. There's some really cute t-shirts, mugs. I think there's a water bottle, but a lot of t-shirts and mugs, and whimsical, really cute stuff for yourself, for the gardeners in your life. And we're approaching the holiday season. What a wonderful gift. You can make a gift basket with a coffee mug and some seeds and a t-shirt, and buying a shirt on my site just enables me to buy more seeds, so I appreciate that. But anyway, I'm going to take a sip, move that over to the side. I'm going to tell you about the Mitchy Healy seeds. So my mom and I were just discussing different stuff one day, and I'm going to get started on this while we're doing that. And I was kind of curious about how cotton grows, and I love Google. Google's my friend. And so I Google and I find this site that they actually sell cotton seeds to consumers. Read about it and then found out that growing cotton is illegal in the state of California unless you are a farmer and you have the agricultural, whatever it is, permission to do that because of the boll weevil, which can just destroy a lot of stuff. Okay. Now, what was really interesting is most sites that sell seeds or trees that are prohibited in certain areas won't even ship them to you. These people ship me the cotton seeds, which I got rid of because I'm not doing it. Another person was like, well, just plant them and see. No, you care anything about the environment, you're not going to be planting something that could possibly be invasive just because you want to be amused to see if you can grow it or not. But the people also sent me the Mitchilihi, it's some kind of cabbage seed, so I might be growing that. So that's the end of that. So I'm going to toss all those seeds over there. So let me show you what I have here. You guys know this is my second year gardening, so this is my second fall. And the thing I love about gardening, or just anything, I'm a person that likes to learn new stuff. I bump my head, and then I try not to bump my head on the same thing. I learn from that, and then I move on. So when I first started gardening, I was using those pods. And then what would happen is, if it wasn't time to take the plant outside, they would overgrow in that little pod and they start getting leggy and weird, and it just ended up me wasting money, time, blah, 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 blah. So then, spring this year, I moved on to the College Drunky Drunk Red Solo Cup, right? This cup is not only for your frat party or sorority party or your backyard barbecue, it is an awesome seed starting cup. I got my handy, you guys have probably seen that, what it called, wacky me drill I got from Amazon, right? Well, again, when I'm not in my garden, I'm thinking about it. So I was sitting around, yes, in my room, watching some Netflix movie, and I drilled all the holes in the bottom. These cups can be used numerous times. And as you can see, I've scrubbed the names out on them and used them again and again. All of my spring seeds were started in solo cups. So some of the things you see in my other videos that are outside in the garden right now growing, the peppers, some of those peppers that were started in January, were started in a solo cup. And because the solo cup is deeper, I was able to wait and take them outside when it was time for them to actually go outside. Now you see all these cups, but I'm actually going to do something different, because with these brassicas, I want a lot more individual plants, and they're going to be going out sooner than those spring plants. So I was over at the 99-cent store. You guys know it's one of my favorite places, and they had these. They still have garden items, which is really interesting. And for $2.49, you get 20 of these little seedling cups, holes in the bottom, and they're in this tray. The tray has a hole in the bottom, so you're going to have to sit it in something else. I thought, what a deal. And you can actually reuse these. These are not peat pots or little plastic pots. So I took some plastic, no I didn't. I took some paper labels that I had, and I cut them, and I just put the label on there. You know, you can peel it off or turn it around and write it on the other side if you use it again. These were, not that you need to do this, because you could just write directly on the little deal. These were, so 80 labels. I don't know, about $6 or $7 on Amazon. You can find cheaper labels or just labels anywhere if they're going to do the label route. But you could probably take a Sharpie, which I have, and I'm pretty sure just write on the actual cup. It's cool. But I do like to label stuff so that I know how things are progressing when I'm growing them. So, and then I usually put the date, and I think today is 8/28. So that's what that's going to look like. I started using this after my experience with the pods, you know, the pods, and you just pour the water in the center of the pod. Wasn't that great. Again, because the pods really limit the size that the seedling can grow, and kind of forced me into trying to transplant some stuff too soon. So last season, I was really blessed to find some of this initially on Amazon, I don't know, for about $5 or $6 a bag. And then towards the end of the year, Walmart for like $2.50 a bag. And it was sometime in October, November, December. I bought like 6 bags and had them for my spring seed starting. Lately, because of what's been going on, or what, you know, this stuff has shot up to some ridiculous price. Now, you don't have to have seed starting mix in order to start your seeds. There are people with wonderful videos about how they make their own. You know, I'm not doing that yet. I might, but I'm not. I'm a big fan of the direct sow. There was a time that seed starting mix didn't even exist, and we're still eating, right? That it's something that is not necessary. So I don't want anybody looking at this going, I can't get any seed starting mix. I'm not going to be able to grow. No. No, I have some soil that I keep inside my garage that I don't take outside, that I use for when I'm planting things inside, because I don't want any bugs or creepy crawlies in it. So that would be fine too. And because I'm going to be putting these in my greenhouse inside, and I'm going to show you guys that later. But anyway, I was able to find this at Walmart like a couple weeks ago for $4.97 a bag. And this is going to go pretty far. And the price keeps shooting around. So look on Amazon and you'll see the big difference. So one of the things I do all the time, every day, I'm always checking prices. They're up and down all over the place. Keep yourselves a little financial stash, especially this time of year. Things are going to be going on clearance because the garden season is ending for some. And, you know, you're going to find things on sale, and, you know, you'll be ready for spring. It was such a thrill when spring rolled around and I had everything. You know, right now I'm looking into getting, I really don't need any more seeds, but needs not the word. I'm looking into getting some more spring seeds on sale. Last year I caught the My Gardener dollar sale, which was awesome. So when spring rolled around, I just pulled out my little plastic deal. So over here, what we have is some of the Jiffy seed starting mix that I already moistened with some water. You're going to want to oh, look at that, that's not a problem. You're going to want to pre-moisten this, and I like it to kind of have the consistency where, you know, it's kind of clumped together. Don't make it mushy. And I have on my little glove here. I used to just go buck wild and not put gloves on, but then the 2-hour scrubbing incidents that have to take place. Of course, you still wash your hands when you take the gloves off. When you do that, it's like, I'm like, it's not worth it. Let me just put some of these gloves on. These are little disposable gloves that you can get on Amazon. Again, don't throw money at this. You don't have to buy a bunch of stuff to do it. You know, I have reusable gloves here that I can just use and rinse off. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to move this out of the way. The other thing I have here is, and they haven't had any of these, this is a cat litter tray that the 99-cent store had for $1 months ago. I bought 4 of them, and they're great to bottom water, and they fit really well inside my greenhouse. I also use them outside when I need to bottom water something, or when I'm seed starting outside and I want to put the cups in there and again water from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that tray in there. So what's going to be the best method for this? Let me scooch this over, I don't even know. One of the lessons I learned the hard way when I was seed starting in the spring was to make sure to get rid of air bubbles. Tap it, push it down a little bit. You can look at the bottom and see, I can see the soil there. So, looks like this should go a long way. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments. First of all, about what zone you're in. And if you don't know how to do that, you know, you can go on Google. Hey, I'm in, you know, bedrock, and I'd like to know, you know, what zone I'm in. And if you don't know what the purpose of that is, if you're a newbie, one of the things I experienced when I was a newbie, and it wasn't done intentionally, but sometimes experienced gardeners throw around terms, and you're like, what in tarnation is a growing zone? Or what do you mean when you say that something is leggy or pot bound? And the assumption is that people, it's like, you know, if you have a medical doctor that uses terms that only they and another one of their medical colleagues would understand, you know, like here in the Three Stooges, you know, Anakin, what? So I'm going to try my best to break it down for people who may not know some of the things and some of the purpose for why we do certain things. But what I would like to also hear is, what are your fall plans? What do you have? Do you have any plans for a fall garden? Did you grow a spring garden? You know, was it successful? Did you wait? I know people here in my area, experienced gardeners, that just won't even bother with a spring garden because of the heat. And now that, you know, we seem to be heating up even more, I know some people that just wouldn't attempt to do it. But I don't want anything to stand between me and my food, me and my garden, you know, and just all the things that gardening has brought to me. Gardening has given me peace of mind. It's made me closer to nature. I feel closer to God and His creation, and just the wonderment of the cycle of how everything goes. It has given me an understanding, a bigger understanding that everything has its purpose. You know, even the bugs that we don't like, or we don't understand or don't like, they have a purpose. Everything has a purpose. I used to be the person that would run away from a bee like somebody was chasing me. And actually, you know, this year, because I made sure that my fountain was accessible for the bees to have water, so I put these little plastic lilies, and I made sure that the level was up high enough for them to get water. Strange. It was like we had a relationship. The bee there was a resident bee in my garden, I swear, and the bee would see me like putting more water in the fountain, and he would fly up and be next to me when I was doing that. I'm saying this now, I'm probably going to go outside tomorrow and get stung, but it was like we had this relationship, and there was an understanding. I remember someone telling me, a family member who shall remain nameless, that she used to be afraid of hummingbirds. Not understanding, they fly by so quick, they sound like a, race car. I can't do it. Wait, whatever that noise is they make. And it's kind of scary if you don't know, anything about it. And when you don't have an understanding, for some people, they don't have an understanding about something, they will tend to sometimes harm it if they don't understand it, or just not let it be. So I'm not going to take up, a bunch of your time, and to make a note, I'm trying not to compact those, because that's not good. So we're going to start doing it like that. I just want to make sure that they're hitting the bottom. So don't do that. When you're thinking about gardening, it's really funny. Some of the mistakes I made, if I had thought about some of the things I was doing, some of them are common sense. You've got this little tiny seed in some cases, especially, greens. When I saw the size of like lettuce seeds, I was like, are you kidding? But you've got this seed that's got to work its way through the soil. We're not trying to make that more difficult. We're trying to make it easier. Hence why seed starting mix is as fluffy, this is the wet version, as it is. So anyway, I'm just going to do a couple more of those. I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to do the entire tray. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start again, because I don't want to take up the time with you watching me repeatedly put soil in this pot. So I want to ask you guys, actually, before I do stop, what are some of the sources that you use to get seeds? I'm all over the place. In the beginning, in the spring, especially when I first started, it was during the height of the quarantine and things weren't, readily available, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know there was big seeds, a million seed places and catalogs and stuff. I ordered a lot of seeds on Amazon. I got one of those big things where you get like a bunch of seeds, a lot of them that you don't want. They got a whole bunch of radishes in there, and the more expensive ones, they're giving you less, but it was a starting place. And then I discovered My Gardener and Dollar Seed Company and Baker Creek, and just some of the other places that are available for seeds. And it's really interesting because these places seem a lot of times are less expensive, and the seeds are fresher. I know that Homestead Heart, God, they opened a seed store and I was just on it immediately. So there's a lot of resources. Dollar Seed Company is just awesome. I mean, what more do you want? And I've purchased seeds from them. They come quick and they have a wonderful germination rate. And a lot of seed companies, people get into farming because it's a passion of theirs. So I try to purchase my seeds for people that grow and provide gardening materials for the love of it. When you love something, you're going to take care. So those are the businesses. It's just like, when you cook. When you cook with love, it's going to taste good. Have you ever cooked in the kitchen mad? I have, and it didn't come out right. So let me know, some of the places you use for seeds. Another thing is Dollar Tree. When I started gardening, most of my, gardening information, I was in some Facebook gardening groups and stuff, and they're really great. I still, I'm in and out of those. But people were talking about Dollar Tree seeds, which were like $25 a pack. Let me see if I have one. And at the time that I started gardening, I wasn't going out. Everything was kind of be brought to the house. But these were like $4. And so last year I didn't have any. So about a couple months ago, I just happened to go to a Dollar Tree, and I wasn't expecting to see anything garden related. And lo and behold, they still had an abundance of seeds, but in the front of the store, they were all mixed up. So I'm digging through them. You know me, I love a bargain bin. And one of the salespeople walked up to me and said, oh, you know what? We have some more seeds in this area. You know, and I almost knocked her down trying to get over there. So I bought, I don't know, about 30 packs of seeds, cabbage, I think the Swiss chard that I had. And so it's really funny because there are people that are seed snobs, you know, they're in the Facebook pages. You can ask the question, are those seeds any good? And you can do your own research because people will post things that are not true. But the bottom line is, one of the people that would talk about how great the Dollar Tree seeds are, Skinny Boy Randy. If you don't subscribe to him, you need to. He's an awesome, awesome gardener that can show you how to grow your own food on a budget, you know, and he's real and just raw with it, and lets you see all the sides, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I've planted some of these and this season, not the Swiss chard, and germination rate was 99.9 for me. So don't overlook this. You know, don't overlook this. If you pass by a Dollar Tree, even though, you know, we're going into the fall soon, take a look and see. But be ready in the spring. They also sell a lot of other little gardening, you know, doodads. But the 99-cent store is my favorite for that kind of stuff. But check it out, you know, so put this on your list. We're always preparing for the next season. So while I'm doing fall 2022, in my head, I'm gathering my spring stuff because we don't know where prices are going to be, and I don't want to feel like I'm scrambling. So I'm acquiring all the things I'm going to need. So I know I said I was going to hush up, but I love talking to you guys. So I'm going to finish this. I think I'm also going to do the other packet of little seed starting pots. I think this is a really good deal with $2.49 that can be redone or reused. It's about the same size as the largest pod that you buy, or a little bit larger. So I'm you know, pretty happy with that. And we are about a month away from fall. Dates mean nothing. As gardeners, we're looking at temperatures. I remember, you know, the last frost date this year. And it was sheer comedy because it was not time to put anything outside. So I had to keep everything inside and watch them grow more and more. I started my tomatoes too soon. I started my peppers right on time in January, which sounds really early. But peppers are notoriously slow, right? So we'll talk about that later. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for now. And I'm going to continue. When I start, I'll have all of these filled in. And then I will have made a decision about which seeds I'm actually going to plant. I'm making myself crazy over this because I don't know. But anyway, I love being with you guys. I love hearing from you guys about what you're doing. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and let's continue to grow together. Get your food, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.